But as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night, we will not vanish without a fight, we're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
It's not true. It doesn't matter what's true. It matters the story they tell when you're gone.
I keep on pushing down my Gypsy road.
All right. It's a Friday. Welcome, everybody. It really feels like it's been a long week. I mean, it does, you know. Sometimes it just a long week. Just sometimes it just feels like that. You know, you can't wait till a Friday, get to the weekend, you know, get that weekend started, get, you know, recharge your batteries, you know, go do some Bigfoot hunting or research, go look for some UFOs, you know, get out this weekend, especially here in Washington. It's the weather is for us, it's going to be hot. It's going to be the 90s. Now, I'm originally from California where it used to be hundreds. So 90, I could take that any day. I know some parts of the United States that, you know, they're in the hundreds. And I know in the UK, they've been getting storms, bad weather, internet. So it's a crazy time, right? I mean, it sometimes feel like
got it.
We're living in a comic book world. It's just
that
way. It really does seem that way. It's
Revelations with an S.
It really does. And, you know, it's so weird. Even certain channels are like off their rockers. And sometimes you sit there and you're like, what is going on with this world? It's you know, you know that there's sometimes there's certain channels, you know, there's certain channels that watch you and they won't say it, right? They won't say it because some of these channels are too cool. They get like 5,000, 10,000 views and stuff. They're too big for your channel. And one of the things that we've been not harassing, that we've been pitching for the last 2 months is these channels telling people don't do your research and stuff. Then just recently today, there's one channel, Bob. You probably know what channel I'm talking about.
Matt.
Matt.
Yeah.
Matt. Right. Comes out with this video. Guys, I'm not telling you not to do your research. What I'm trying to tell you is the research that you're probably doing is all lies anyway. So it's like stop covering your asses. Listen. People got brains. People have, not everybody, but most people have common sense. We all know not everything you read, not everything on social media, the news, CNN, Fox, MSB, whatever. We all know they don't tell you the 100% truth. We all know that. But you should research from different sites to gather your own information. And that's what we've been saying. And it's kind of funny that some of these channels, Bob, they back up. And you know they're watching us.
No, in his defense, he's playing, because I emailed the guy. We email. We're playing a game. It's called, remember the old taste great, less filling. Taste great, less filling. We're just playing taste great, less filling. He's playing. It's playing. I like. Oh God! Come on, man. It's just it's all good. We got a nice conversation. He's about to make some crack cash. He's gonna be doing.
It'd be like me going to a Bigfoot community, right? There's actually going to be a big, huge Bigfoot thing going on in Tennessee where a lot of people are getting together, right? Be like me going to their camp and say, hey guys, since you're here, don't do any research. You know, even though you're out here trying to study Bigfoot, Don't do your research.
Don't matter.
Don't study the footprints. Just walk around and hopefully that a creature jumps in front of you.
Well, what it is, and I sent him an email. We were talking back and forth, and I sent him an email. I was like, the problem is everybody has a limit to what they're able to see and what they can do. There's a limit to it. Everybody has a limit. Like some people goes as far as, oh man, I see a discrepancy with music because I was a singer and I've noticed that some song lyrics sound unusual to me. Some people are about the Bible or the Torah, or I read this my whole life since I was a kid, and the I am pentameter, the flow of the book is completely wrong now. It's a whole different voice. Those people have that. Some people have wine where I'm not joking, by the way. I'm being dead serious. There's a person I know with whatever discrepancy effect you want to call, who drank wine, a wine head, who mastered the one person that goes to the judge of the wines and sips it, drank all these wines and say, I've had the same wine forever in my fucking storage, the same fucking bottle, the same series of bottles, and all of a sudden they taste different. They're flat on the tail end they're like, this is impossible. They were able to tell that the wine that they owned, and they know by heart the flavor was different. That's what they have. And so this individual you're talking about, Matt, he's got some, but he only has a small piece of the puzzle. And you don't get the rest.
I love quantum consciousness.
I love the guy too.
Listen. Let me tell you. Listen, I have told people on this show, as far as truth channels go, he's probably the best. Him and Martin Lewinsky, to me, are probably the two best in the truth community. Where all the rest of truthers, I don't
Martin.
Watch. I don't care. Martin is, but on this one subject, I just totally disagree about research. But beyond that, I like him more than others because Matt does have common sense. Now, I think he's using like Bob, like you're saying, I think he's using this research as a tool, like just to try to rile people up,
Yeah. Well, here's my answer to Matt. And only Matt will understand this. And those of you out there that have some sort of sense for math, you're going to understand what this means. So you'll know what this means. Matt will know what this, because this is what Matt is experiencing right now. This equation is what Matt is from Quantum of Consciousness is experiencing, and he's having a hard time with it. So this is why he says don't do your own research. Now, there we go. Now, most people, if not 90% of you guys, are not going to know what this means. Some of you might have to look it up and figure it out, which is what we encourage you to do. So don't just take this cup and look at it and say, what does that mean? Is it derogatory? Is this? No, look up this equation and you'll see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about where he's stuck at. And this will explain everything. Everything this is Matt from Quantum of Consciousness. He's suffering from this. And he should be. Most people are, if not the majority of them are. Some, I don't know, I can't speak for others, but I've went past that point. I'm way up in the uppers. So if you guys would figure this out, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, again, he's a nice guy, but he's stuck. Yeah. Any mathematician that gets to a point where they're stuck, he's stuck. There's no answer. He's chasing the dragon's tail. You're saying there's no ending to it. Don't do research because there's never a solution. There's never an ending. If you look at this equation, that's some of the mathematicians out there are going, there's no ending. There is an ending, and then there's nothing you can, they drive people nuts with this one little, they go crazy. It's where he's at right now. Just putting that out there as a soft joke back. As he tastes great, less filling. Research. Don't do research. Don't do research. It's our joke.
Donnie was great yesterday. Love to have him around. Yeah, Donnie was good yesterday. Everybody knows that usually 2 hours is my max. I like to go on a show. I don't like to go over 2 hours. Now, yesterday was rare. we actually went 4 hours.
Yeah.
It was rare because the guest that came on at the last minute, usually when I end the show. And he was telling his story, but he was telling it so well. I mean, it was so graphically well. I just like, let's just do this. I want to hear these stories. So if you guys like horror movies, we talked about Bigfoot horror movies in the first 2 hours. But if you like Bigfoot stories, go to yesterday's video and start at the 2 hour mark when he comes. And you guys will hear some incredible Bigfoot stories. Not that, like, I'm not telling you have to believe the stories at 100%, but the way he told them, I swear to God, you were like picturing the story because he was mentioning every little thing, like the walk, the sound. I mean, it was almost like, we talk about making a movie. I could almost make a movie off this guy's life, so, and all that. And then I want to thank also, I just dropped, just like 32 minutes ago, a music video on my other channel. Huey Lewis, Working for a Living. I use clips from American Psycho, Mayhem, Falling Down, and somebody already wrote, inspired choice, works so well. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you get a song that actually matches. And I think the music video I dropped today was brilliant. It matched very well. It was about all working people going crazy and decided that society is just not what it used to be. And it's just
breaking down.
And it's kind of cool. And it's kind of funny too, Bob. Guys, we're going to get into the Bridgewater Triangle in a second. But there was another channel, I'm not going to mention names either, that I stopped listening to about 6 to 8 months ago because all they talked about was pandemic talk. That was it. That was it. That's all they talked about. I'm like, I got so tired of it. And like, I'm tired of hearing pandemic. I'm sorry. I want to hear other things. So yesterday I was just going through the YouTube last night, just going through different channels. I decided, you know what, let me hear what this one channel's talking about again. Just to hear. And by God, I turned it back on and it felt like 6-7 months ago. Pandemic talk again. Like, Jesus Christ. Can you guys ever talk about something different than pandemic? I mean, Jesus, God, there's a whole life out there. There's so much research to do out there. There's so many different things to do. Can you guys, I'm sorry, I don't know if they're listening to me, but if you guys are listening to me, guys, I'm sick and tired of pandemic talk. Get it out of here. Go with your pandemic talk. It's so freaking boring. It's like it's a whole life to do stuff, and you're still bitching about pandemic. And it's like, oh my God. I turn it right off and like, these people, I swear, I don't know. I'm serious. I don't know how some of these people listen to people talk about pandemic every goddamn day. I'm sorry.
They don't say I just put a video out. I don't know if you saw it. I put a video out, and I knew I was just waiting. Now, I'm happy a lot of people saw it, and I'm happy a lot of people acknowledged it. I've got zero credit for it. In fact, it wasn't even me. It was a roommate that made the discovery and came to me and says, what do you think of this? And I said, holy fuck. Made the video, put it out. I've got a minute amount of people viewed it, and I'm like, anybody, man?
I know.
And so I was at some other sites like Evo Once Upon a Time. I don't care for that guy. But anyway, they posted it in there like it was a new find, and all of a sudden everyone's taking credit for it. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't mind, right? Though. I love to me, I don't charge money. I don't have anything. I live out of a backpack. I put information out for people to fucking, that's how I make karma points. That's how I make my money. Karma points. So the information's out there now, Eric. The information is about Egypt. It's about the Sphinx.
I took your video. I took your video and I posted on my Reddit.
Yeah, and the Sphinx at the moment is complete. Not the Sphinx, guys. Everyone look at the Sphinx. Look, fuck the Sphinx, man. It's not the Sphinx, man. It's around the Sphinx. There's a whole set of walls and gatings around the Sphinx. not there, man. Just a few days ago. And then there was this like a Sphinx lane. It's kind of crazy with the Sphinx, man. Anyway, it's completely insanely different at the moment. And like anybody, yeah, there it is. See the Great Wall around the Sphinx? Like, when the fuck did the Sphinx get gated in like somebody's backyard? It's like it's getting closer to the main pyramids, and it's gated in now with these boulder rocks carved and put there. And I'm like, that was not there just a short time ago. So I don't know. People just don't wake up anymore. They're not seeing anything. They're not seeing any any. I don't know how to try. I'm trying not to use the other words. They're not seeing any continuity errors in things because anybody's coming up with anything. And I'm seeing thousands of things. I'm trying to just keep it quiet, but this was so big, so huge. I'm shocked that nobody has brought it up. Nobody's talked about. I don't care if you talk about it. It's huge. This. There's even like a Sphinx lane, like Christmas tree lane. There's a lane with just sphinxes all the way down, like on pedestals. And I'm like, when the fuck did that happen? So there's a lot of Egyptology that has completely changed, guys, in culture, in dynamics, in artifacts, and antiquity. I can't even start. We could make an entire show about it. But I almost don't want to. It's like giving everybody the answer. But do your own research. Again, do your own research. Go look up the Egypt. Go look up the Sphinx. Go look up all of these new buildings and things that are popping up all around Egypt. It's insane. A lot of these old, if you're into archaeology, Peru, the Nazca lines. There's more animals, man. There's more buildings all over the desert that's popping up. Everybody,
you gotta go look. Check out his video. Like I said, if you could go directly to Bob's YouTube channel,
yeah.
Or if you can't find his channel, you lost it. Just go to my Reddit page, and you scroll down, you'll find a Bob. And of course, the Reddit page has UFOs, paranormal. It's got some Matrix stuff. Got Bigfoot. Conjuring, some Medellas, and Bob's videos on here. So this is this Reddit page, guys. I'm not trying to sell it, but it's a good page to get through different topics if you like. UFOs, Bigfoots. Bob does topics on everything. So you can go to his channel through here. Yeah. And then, like I say, there's everything. And of course, there's my good old buddy Grandpa's World. So, Bob, let me ask you this now. Okay. I don't know. Hey, what's up, Bigfoot? Now, this story, the Bridgewater Triangle. I never really. I've heard of the other triangle, of course, off the ocean, but I never realized there's actually considered another triangle in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I've never heard of that triangle. No, I've never heard of that. I mean, what the hell is that? That's interesting because I've never heard of that. I know Connor know all about it, obviously.
Let me see if I can pull up. Let me see if I can pull up a map quest, and maybe we could do like
let's take a look at. I want to see what makes up the place. Where is it located? Where is it at in the fucking United States? It keeps doing its little warp changes.
Let's do Google Earth. Let's do Google Earth. Okay, let me click on it.
Everything is at the moment a lot of new things, man. There's tons of new things. If you could see the continuity errors or discrepancies, I would also call them. Lots of them right now.
Okay.
I'm like in fucking Wonderland at the moment. I'm doing my own research. That's why I'm not letting Matt from Quantum of Conscious tell me what's changed or what the thing is out there, what's going on in the code. You're going to get nothing but whining. about everything. The fucking Matrix, the Matrix. Oh, by the way, make sure you pay money on the way out. Put money in the cup. We've been saying that. Here we go. However, I like the guy. I'm just fucking with him. Busting his balls. Oh yeah, there we go.
Well,
in Massachusetts. In Massachusetts.
Well, yeah. It's in Massachusetts. See, in Massachusetts. Okay, this is there's 3 towns they consider the triangle. Arbington, and let me go. Let me go look at my notes here. Arbington, Freetown, and read them both. So let me see here. I wonder if I can create. Well, there's 3 towns. There's 3 cities in Massachusetts, Bob. You can see the Arbington right there. You can see the Arbington in the red.
Yeah.
And then if I take the other town, I wonder if it'll stay in red. I wonder if I could put a triangle here to show you the actual triangle. Let me just go over here. Okay, I'm gonna type in this town. Okay, so Freetown. I wish I could do the marking, but maybe you know what? Maybe if I type in the word Bridgewater Triangle on an image, maybe it'll give me image because it builds into another triangle with these towns. So I know this ain't very professional, but you know what's kind of weird is if you actually look at the Massachusetts, you look at it almost looks like there's a horn on a horse jumping out of the continent. I don't know if that means anything.
Yeah, people from Massachusetts that I know talked about that completely changed for them, so they don't. It's all weird for them.
Bridgewater Triangle shape image. Let me see here. Let me see if I can get an image. Okay, here we go. Let me take that stupid screen off. I shouldn't even try Google Earth. Everybody's like, "You're so unprofessional." Oh well. Okay. So right here, okay, right here in Massachusetts, there's basically Arlington, one's Freetown, and the other one's called Rehoboth, whatever.
Yeah.
What it is apparently, Bob, in this triangle, it's just not. It's just not. It's like, you know how we talked about how Bigfoot, UFOs, paranormal is probably related.
Yeah.
Well, in this triangle, this is where most of it does combine. Everywhere in the United States, supposedly right there is where most UFOs, Bigfoots, and paranormal has all been cited the most in one spot. And let me see if I can pull up this article about
a lot of dark magic was practiced there. A lot of magic was practiced there.
And there's a story that it goes back on where they think it started from. So hold on a second. Let me hit X. Okay, so this is what is the Bridgewater Triangle anyway? A look at the dark and paranormal tales of the window area of unexplained occurrences. Okay, the ghost stories, personal accounts, and folklore that made up the legend of the Bridgewater Triangle are too vast to ever fit in a single book. Though many devoted investigations of the triangle have tried to record them. So there's so much stuff here. Apparently, there's almost too much to even try to record them because there's so much that goes on there. The encompass what can only be described as smorgasbord of the paranormal and cryptozoological and just plain weird. In fact, one of the most baffling parts of the Triangle legends has to be the range of strange sightings to be part of the enigmatic, approximately 200 square mile area of the Bay State. Anything that you want to be in the Triangle is in the Triangle. It's a Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Said folklorist and author of several books on the Bridgewater Triangle Chris Balzano. So you're into zombies. There's stories about zombies. If you're into Bigfoot, he's there. If you're into pukwudgies, wudgies, whatever that is, it's a kind of pukwudgie central. If you're into ghosts, you got it. UFOs, black helicopter. It's all there.
Yeah. Yeah, that place is it's got a lot of history, man. It's Massachusetts. It's got a lot of history. A lot of history.
Yeah, and what's interesting, I mean, let me see here. There's actually pictures. Let me see here. If you go down off this website, let me see here. Oh, maybe it starts here. Let me see if I can get these bigger. Okay. Okay. The Freetown State Forest is said to include many spooky areas, including an underground bunker, through to be used by a couple that were prosecuted for molesting their adopted children. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of bad blood. There's bad spirits because apparently a couple, I'm not trying to gross anybody out, but a couple have hurt their adopted children in these underground tunnels.
Yeah.
The Freetown Forest is said to include many spooky areas, including the site where this hunt thought to belong to occult murderer Robin Murphy and Carl Drew. So apparently these two serial killers, which I don't really know too much about them, they're from this area.
Well, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, the Freetown State Forest is said to include many spooky areas, including Obstinate Ledge. I don't know if you've ever been there. The Freetown State Forest is said to include many spooky areas. The Bridgewater Triangle is known for hosting an array of spooky sightings from Bigfoot to UFOs to ghosts to satanic cults. The Bridgewater Triangle is known for hosting an array of spooky sightings, Bigfoot, UFOs, satanic cults, again, same thing. Sightings from Bigfoot, UFOs. I wonder if there's anybody in the chat that's actually from Massachusetts.
Yeah,
is there anybody in the chat that's from Massachusetts? I haven't been reading the chat.
I don't know.
Been here? I saw black helicopters several times when I lived in Cleveland, including 6 at a time, hunting for the airport. Headed for the airport, hunting for the airport, headed for the airport. Let me go back here. So let me see here. Yeah, so apparently this is like the ocean triangle. This is on land, and it has everything there. And there's actually documentaries of this and stuff, and it's like I've never even heard.
I have never heard of these I've never heard of this triangle. Studied paranormal stuff as a hobby for fun, just never heard of it. I'm like, when did this happen? Not calling it anything but but interesting stuff though.
No, it is.
Bigfoot, there's everything in there. There's like everything. It's the UFOs, all kinds of weird, strange shadow people running through the forest there. Goblins, fairies. I mean, you have it all in there. People claim everything in this place.
And it's supposedly started from this. And maybe you heard of this. Let me pull it up. King Philip's War.
Okay.
Kings Philip War.
Okay.
Kings Philip's War, also known as the First Indian War. The Great Narragansett War of Midcom's Rebellion took place in the southern New England from 1675 to 1676. It was the Native Americans' last-ditch effort to avoid recognizing English authority to stop English settlement on their native land. The war is named after Wampanoag Chief Metacom, later known as Philip or King Philip, who led the 14-month bloody rebellion.
Okay. I do know the history that from where I'm from. I'm just Sagittarius, but I know that there was the French had kind of parlayed with the Algonquin, and they worked together to fight against the English. So the French and the Algonquin natives fought against the English. There's even movies such as the Last of the Mohicans. There was a war. There was the French. It was the French natives against the English wars, and that went on for a little while.
Yes, it is in the States. Somebody just wrote this place in the States. Yes, this is in the Massachusetts. That's where the Bridgewater Triangle is. Continue, Bob.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of bloodshed. So a lot of bloodshed, like a lot of massacring of families. Like the French and the natives went and massacred, and families moving out to the sticks, basically moving outside the city's walls, were just getting massacred. And so they sent out English soldiers to fight against the French and the Algonquin to stop the slaughter of their own people. There was even Dutch settlements up there, and it was really brutal, man. It was brutal. So eventually the English won. What we all know. Moving forward. But yeah, there was a lot of fighting, a lot of blood up there, a lot of anger, a lot of hate, land grabbing and hating, and of course they talked about the devils that lived in the forest and all the sacrifices, and just really brutal, man. I mean, that's what was more brutal than the Civil War, American and the English. That was way more brutal than that. You had English colonists fighting against the French and the Algonquin. So it was bad.
Here, let me share this with you guys. Let me share this. Yeah. This is let me share this. Only 2 minutes long. This is one of the creatures that are considered to be from the Bridgewater Triangle. The creature from the Bridgewater Triangle. This is only 2 minutes long.
Cut through the backyard and entered the high trees. Darkness was instant and total. No street lights or starlight can penetrate the canopy of the rangy 100-year-old pines that dwarf the power lines. About a half-mile into the walk, we arrived at a break where a road cuts through the swath. Sam pulled hard on her leash and looked up at me. Her hair stood on end. She made not a noise, but trembled and looked at me for protection. "What's wrong, Samantha? I don't see anything." "It's okay, baby. We'll go home now. Come on." I tugged on her leash, but she did not budge. It wasn't obstinacy. It was fear. My big Rot Shep mix, who would tackle a 1-ton bison or a wild mountain lion, was scared stiff. I heard what frightened her before I saw it. "Iwachu, Iwachu, Kier, Kier, Iwachu." An eerie call floated to my ears in the still night. "Iwachu, Iwachu, Kier, Kier, Iwachu."
Yeah, I mean, there's a state hospital. There's a Trenton State Hospital for the insane. It's now empty, except perhaps for the ghost. I mean, I'm telling you, Bob, there's so many different kind of stories that's coming out. Every area is known for something, like Washington is known for Bigfoot country.
Yeah.
And this place is known for just everything. And I saw, what I love about doing these shows, I think it was Hobbs. Hobbs wrote, "I watched a documentary yesterday."
No shit.
London Underground is supposed to be one of the most haunted places in the world. Massive amounts of graves were displaced. And that's what I love. I love where people are watching more documentaries, and I'm not saying every documentary is true, but you're seeing these stories, you're seeing these documentaries, and then you share it because, by sharing it, you get to hear that this world is just not a beautiful. I have to drink coffee every day. Go to Starbucks, get your coffee, smile, say bye bye to your wife, hello, kids, in the beds. It's an evil world, and there's a lot of stuff that paranormal. It's sometimes the paranormal stuff is there because of the bad mojo, the bad spirits that are there. I mean, you heard stories all the time, the skinwalkers. But you're talking about King Philip's, like you said, Bob, was like the first huge Native American war. And I'm sure, we all know they got slaughtered because the English runs Massachusetts.
Well, don't forget about the Puritans. Now, the Puritans were there. So you got to remember the famous Salem, Massachusetts trials.
Yep.
And the famous, there was in February 1692 and up through May 1693. It was more than 200 people were accused. 30 were found guilty. 19 of whom were executed by hanging. Now, my time they weren't hung; they were burned at the stake. 14 women and 5 men lived my ass, but so they were, my memory, of course it's incorrect, but these accused witches, these regular Puritan women, were burned at the stake. Now they say they were hung. How passive is that? That wasn't the way it happened. It were burned. Also, they were placed into the water, and if they were told to confess, and they would place these large rocks on them, dude, onto their chest, and they would sink to the bottom of the water. Now, if God wants them to live, they will float to the surface regardless of the heavy rocks on their chest or not. But the fact that they stayed at the bottom meant they were witches. They were not Christians whatsoever. Don't forget about the Salem, Massachusetts fucking witch trials, dude. That was brutal. And these Puritans, remember that these Puritans come from, they were English, and they went to Germany, to the Dutch lands, and then they wanted to kick them out. These fucking guys were psychotically Christian, Eric. These were fanatical Christians. They were just so extreme. It was crazy. They considered anything outside the perimeter of their peripheral in the woods where they lived devils. Devils lived out in the woods. The devils. They often probably summoned them themselves, but lots of witchcraft, supposedly, lots of talking to the devil, lots of wickedry was going on, supposedly, in Salem, Massachusetts. Don't forget about that. Remember, in that time too. That all happened there too, Eric, in the Triangle. So that all happened in that same place. That's why it's so fucking dark. Something was there. Something either was messing with the ladies. Well, science said that there was organite. There was a small fungus that grew in their flour. This fungus grew in their flour, and they made biscuits. So they made little breads and bread, whatever. And then it had this organite, whatever, in it, and it was like LSD. So they were tripping on. That's what the scientists think, that they were tripping on fucking LSD, on acid, because this fungus carried a chemical, which is the same chemicals as acid, and it got them all high. So these young women and women in general were eating bread and biscuits and small things, and they were running around screaming at things moving in the forest because they were tripping balls, and they were accused of being witches. It was a massive thing there at the time. People that remember that.
You could do a whole show on Native American stories. You definitely can do full stories on Native American stories. I mean, the United States, there's different stories with different races of them, and it's just
Well, don't forget that the natives themselves were 100% familiar with this fungus, Eric. They were familiar with this fungus. They themselves had put themselves into walkabout trances. So the natives would dress as animals. They would become the animals. They would take this, they would have their own types of bread. That's a flat kind of a pummic bread with meat and stuff, but it would have that fungus in there also, and they knew about it. So they would take these walkabouts, we call it, I would call walkabouts, that's the best way to say it, high on acid, on the fungus, as the animal, running through the forest, probably howling all around the Puritan villages, causing all kinds of shit to happen, man. That place is really wacky over there.
I kind of like this. The paranormal comforts me. It helps me when it's time for me to go into the afterlife.
Yeah, it's a puzzle.
Well,
it's a fun puzzle.
I've always said that, if you could prove the paranormal, if you could prove a ghost, a soul is there, it goes from somewhere. So it for me, it's like evidence of there is life after death when we go somewhere. Because I mean, some of these some of the stories, not all of them, but some of these stories when with the footages they have talking to ghosts, whatever, some are intelligent, some are what do you call it? Like when it's like it replays it. But the ones that are intelligent, it's kind of inspiring. That's why that's why I love researching, because one day I hope, Bob, hopefully next time you come back, hopefully we get to have an intelligent conversation.
Yeah.
Because that's almost proof that there is life after death. So it is comforting in that way. That's how I look at it. Yeah,
I don't believe it. I'm one of the rare ones. I don't believe in ghosts. I believe there's ghosts. I believe that they're a different thing than what people think they're. I don't believe that they are the deceased people that that's me though. That's me. I just don't think
about more demons.
Well, yeah, because I think they assume the identity of the deceased, because when you die, you got a nasty ass skeleton body, whatever. But only from experimentation, and of course, what's left behind is your pineal gland, which is actually it's not organic. It's actually a rock. It's actually silica, which is stored information of who you were and who you are. Basically, it takes your information from your little silica fucking hard drive, and it assumes your identity and then it pretends to be you. As someone says, "Is that you, Johnny? Talk to me, Johnny." Johnny's and the whatever gen entity that's taken the identity by going into the pineal and taking the information, going, "Yes, it's me," taking some stupid memories. But in the end, they want more than what they're not that person, so they want a little bit more. I'm only basing this off of doing ghost hunts myself as an experiment, and have found that the area that they have been cremated, I couldn't get any results, no ghost results whatsoever, nothing read on anything on the cremation side. It means the silica is gone, that your little storage area is completely melted to nothing. As in, when you go where the bodies are actually in coffins still in the ground, all the information is still there. I've got nothing but solids. Then I go to cremation, nothing. And move on to new areas. Cremation, nothing. Solid bodies, okay, they're reading the fucking pineal. They're reading your stored information in your body. They're basically reading you when you're dead. They're not really you. They're just pretending to be you. Again, only me. I'm probably 99.9% of the wrong.
Everybody has, it's up to them, mystical route. I think it's real. I think I want to believe X-Files like that. I mean, it's all, it's a mystery. It's a mystery to everybody. There's no right answer. But
I believe in quantum immortality.
I will haunt your ass to prove you're wrong.
I welcome.
Bob's gonna be haunted. Hey, Bob, you're probably already getting haunted. You're getting scratches. You probably piss off some ghost.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, there's some supposedly good people, and I'm like, these good people always end up bad. And I can't believe that a good-hearted person dies, and you go to do some ghost hunt, and that person is nice, all of a sudden becomes mean on the other side. No.
What if that spirit is not from a nice one? Maybe that spirit pretends is being somebody else.
It's pretending by getting it knows the detailed information from the body. It knows the detailed information. How is it getting it? Now, I believe in quantum immortality. It means you just move on. You didn't know you die. You just move on to another life, and you're still trucking. You didn't make that left turn at Albuquerque to die. You made the right turn, which is a good decision. So you just kept on moving in another reality. You're just living. You're still living. You make it all the way to the end, and you live and you make karma points along the end, like a big video game. You just keep going.
Well, let's see what Believe K thinks. I believe that people are reincarnated.
Yeah.
So deceased uncle Joe probably won't be telling you when he hid his stash of money. Yeah.
Thank you. That's how I believe. That's how I believe. Uncle Joe.
I see past loved ones in my dreams. I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that a lot.
Yeah, I've heard that before, and you could still see them in your dream if they're alive. Now, that's my philosophy. Quantum immortality, they're still alive. So if they're still alive, they can still communicate you with your dream because you're just not there with them in your timeline. They're another one.
The first thing to have claw marks in it.
Yeah, why 3 claw? Why the 3 scratches? I mean, the divinity. Why? There's 5 fingers, man. Why when I do the ghost hunts, I get the 3 something else? I go, these things. My gut says no, and I'm a shiner. I shine, so I'm like, nah, you're not who you say you are. You're lying.
Yeah,
this person is still alive somewhere else, and you're just posing as this person. That's what I'm getting.
There's the Bridgewater Triangle bonus material from a paranormal investigator, Christopher Pittman. Let's see what he says a little bit here. We'll try to dissect it. Is it not on?
I corresponded with Lauren Coleman to some extent. Lauren Coleman effectively did very little work in the Bridgewater Triangle after around 1980. And so the majority of the sightings that I was investigating and the people that I was speaking to was stuff that had happened since that time.
Chris, Native Americans' connection to the Bridgewater Triangle.
I think it can become dangerous and almost Eurocentric just to focus on King Philip's War when we talk about Native Americans in the Bridgewater Triangle. People have lived here for a very long time, maybe as long as 12 or 14,000 years. And if we look at that vast gulf of time when Native people lived here, we see different cultures coming and going. Around 3,500 years ago, there was, many archaeologists believe, a massive population collapse here. Prior to that time, there were different cultures living here, and after that time, there was a cultural fragmentation. Nobody really knows why that population collapse happened, and it certainly seems possible.
Now, have you heard what he's talking about the collapse?
Yeah, most Native cultures are like that. People talked about it was the Europeans that brought blankets, whatever. Well, that was much later. Out of South America, there was Spanish and other explorers down south that were introducing new animals, horses, all kinds of new animals back to the United States, plural, not United States, but to the Americas. So a lot of animals people know about animals carry fucking diseases. We all know that from the pandemic, whatever. And so as the domesticated, natives, like, they lived next to their fucking animals, they were dying out. As the animals migrated up into the Americas, so the northern Americas, they brought with them their diseases that these people had never experienced before. Their immune systems were good for the place they were at, but introducing all new diseases, especially with Europeans coming down south South American stuff, that made their way up. And also the Viking we know now with evidence, a Viking made their way across up top, intermixed with the Algonquin, brought their new diseases in. So there was a disease devastation way before anybody came to made Massachusetts or any other places. The French were showing up, passing around their fucking, this is, and like, even before Europeans came, there's always somebody that showed up and passed on a new fucking bug. So they were dying out all the time. It's a natural part of life, man. Everyone brings a new disease in. Look at the COVID. Same shit. So we're having the same thing they have there right now. So that's kind of how they all died. in patterns.
Various
Let's see what else
cultures
he
that lived
says.
here prior to then could have engaged in a war that was maybe bloodier than anything that we've ever chronicled. It happened in prehistoric times, and no one will ever know what happened. When I travel throughout the Bridgewater Triangle and look at the evidence of Aboriginal occupation, most of the traces that I find, most of the artifacts I uncover, are between 5,000 years old and 3,500 years old. That was the time that there was a massive amount of people living here. So could they have somehow had something to do with the folklore, the legends, and the myth that have grown up around this place?
Yeah.
Chris on investigation reports from the Bridgewater Triangle.
I approach claims skeptically, and I think that as investigators and researchers, we need to take a scientific attitude towards the claims, towards the myth and lore about the Bridgewater Triangle. But at the same time, I really enjoy these stories, and to what extent some of these stories are really true or false, and to whatever extent the claims are myth or fact or fantasy or folklore, there's something about this area that makes these stories seem somehow believable. And I think
Well, I passed that part.
Yeah.
Just because I mean we
got
all,
that idea.
We all talk about, stories do come from somewhere and they are interesting.
There's smoke, there's fire, yeah.
So I don't really care about that part. I just want facts.
Yeah.
Let's see what he says here.
In my work as a UFO investigator, there were occasions when I participated in hypnotic regression sessions with people who may have had UFO encounters that they couldn't consciously recall. This was incredibly frightening for me.
Of course, we've talked about that before. About technique, but honestly, I guess you would really have to know the person who's doing the test, because technically, if you go under, you're meditating or whatever, you go under.
Yeah.
What is planting that memory in you? How do you know it's your own original memory or it's them giving it to you?
That's where it's difficult.
Or I guess if I have to go into a place like that, I want a live recording camera. So when I'm done,
well, they usually do. They usually record it, and then that way the individual could see what they've said.
Yeah.
That way they know that they weren't being told to dance naked for, and then like do handstands and do weird shit. They have them. They always, traditionally they record them so they don't get sued. Basically, what did you tell me to do? Here's the tape. I've recorded you.
It's not like the movie Office Space where you get programs saying "fuck it, I don't care anymore."
Yeah, exactly.
I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, that was a great movie. But yeah, so he sounds like he's a hypnotist, so he must be doing some hypnotizings.
Let's hear what he says then.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, these people, many of whom lived in southeastern Massachusetts and had experiences within the Bridgewater Triangle, they would have only very vague memories of something that they couldn't quite understand. And it was felt that maybe hypnosis would help bring these encounters forward and help them to recall these things. The experiences of these people recalled under hypnosis were very terrifying. And watching these people under hypnosis, in one case, we hypnotized a woman who suddenly had bruises appear on her face without anybody or herself ever having touched.
I never heard that before. I mean, have you ever heard that before? Somebody goes under and they're actually getting a bruise just showing up?
They claim that. They've done some research where they've claimed it. Well, the argument could be say, is this person punching themselves? Did they do a quick body shift and do a big punch? They didn't see it, on the camera. I don't know. I have to be there. I'd have to witness one to even have an opinion. Yeah.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, bruisings.
Touched her face at all. It was incredibly frightening. Another time, we did a regression session with a man whose profession was a sound and recording engineer. And he had wired his living room where we conducted the session. He wired it for sound. I had a tape recorder running. The hypnotist had a tape recorder running. The witness had a tape recorder running, and at the end of the session, we had 3 blank tapes, something that seems almost impossible. It seems almost impossible to attribute.
Okay. No, I like that. I like that because it wasn't just a malfunction on one. It's actually a malfunction on all 3. And then you ask yourself, what are the chances of that?
Yeah, that would mean somebody was in on it. I'm just throwing some debunking ideas. And they ran a magnet next to, if it's a digital camera, the recording, and obviously it's modern. So if somebody they just stepped up to it with a digital camera, you can zap that thing and erase it. Same thing with people stealing each other's bank accounts, shit like that, by having their phone touch the other phone. You know what I'm talking about? You touch the phone and it gets their information. Beep. Oh, got it. At the mall, they walk by and they'll touch someone's phone with it and get their information. If you have a strong enough magnet, depending on what you have in your hand, you can hover around that fucking camera and wipe it clean. So somebody's putting on an act and everyone's believing it and staring at that person do a freak out on the couch while the other person's back there fucking rubbing their hands over the camera with a magnet. I'm don't want to guess out, people. I'm not saying that's it. I'm saying it can be done that way.
I'm always curious about this too. I like criminal. I tried getting hypnotized twice by a professional. She couldn't hypnotize me both times. That's interesting because when you watch it on TV or movies, it seems like they do this thing and you're out just like that. And I'm wondering, I wanted to try it on me because I always wonder, will I just go under like that, or is it a process?
Some people can. They say
hours, 30 minutes. I mean, how fast can you knock me out?
Yeah, some people can, some people can't. That's how I've learned about it at the university. I've learned in my classes that people that get hypnotized, either you can or you can't. There's some people who just can't. They can't be hypnotized. They got too much shit spinning in their fucking head. They got too much. They've got a chemical imbalance. They've got their adrenaline pumped up. Who knows?
It's like someone guessing your mental card. Boys pick a card and say 0011 000011
Binary, huh?
00001100001100. Hey, I did pretty good. I read this whole thing.
There you go. You just did his binary code. Somebody decipher his binary.
Yeah, Hobbs, do you think it's the same person or is just reprogrammed by whatever it is controlling all this? Yeah. Hypnotism only works on weak minds. I can see that because, has anybody ever tried? Come on, you watching a movie or something and they're hypnotizing somebody and you try to pretend you're that person and you're listening to that person to see if you go under, but you don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'd have to be hypnotized. I'd have to be in that situation where someone did it, so I know what's. I can have an opinion on it. It's hard for me to have an opinion on something like that if I haven't had it done. I mean, I've seen people get it, but yeah.
Here's another bonus material from the Bridgewater Triangle. A guy named Andrew Lake, and this is like these are only like 3 minutes and stuff. So
yeah, hell yeah.
Let's see if he says something different than the other guy to see if we can catch, because like I said, I'm learning about Bridgewater Triangle. I never really heard of it before. So Andrew Lake, never heard of him, but hey, Andrew on Native American and the connection. Okay, let's hear his.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, I believe much of the strange activity in the Bridgewater Triangle can go back to even probably before the Native Americans. The Native Americans are the first humans to really put their imprint in this area. I mean, they're the ones, their foundation
that's common sense.
Is what our history is set on. So I believe that even circumstances before the King Philip's War, there was a lot of aggression between the Native Americans even before the Europeans came here. But especially the King Philip's War, I think left a psychical scar, if you will, on the area. And I believe that not only in Rehoboth, but even down in my state.
I've never heard of the King Philip's War, by the way.
The King Philip's War left a very horrible, bloody mark on the land. And we experienced hauntings down there as well. But here in the Bridgewater Triangle, I feel that the King Philip's War, with all its horrible death and murder and betrayal.
You mean, hold on, Bob. You've never heard of King Philip's War?
You know, I'm gonna go sue the University of Washington because in my Native American classes, my indigenous classes, I have never heard of that war.
Well, Bob, I got a good idea.
I don't know what to say about that.
Well, I got a good idea. Why
These
don't
professors don't know.
Why don't you come out with a video and make this Black Tom for you?
This could be a Black Tom for me.
This could be a Black Tom for you.
This is a Black Tom. The King Philip Wars is a Black Tom for me. I have no idea. I haven't heard of the King Philip's War.
Andy Ghost Rescue. Hey everyone, I'm on the road running errands again, but I'm definitely here and listening now. Much love, brother. A Standing Goats Rescue. His name is Danny Miller. He was the one that was on the show yesterday.
Oh, cool.
About his Bigfoot hunt. And the reason his channel is called Standing Goats Rescue, Bob, he actually rescues goats.
Oh, that's awesome.
He is. I know. We talked a little bit about it yesterday because I hear about people rescuing dogs,
Yeah.
cats, but I've never really heard somebody rescuing goats.
Well, it's personal to Eric and I. So that you guys know, we've mentioned this 1,000 times probably. Our dad was born in Idaho in a log cabin, and he was allergic to human milk. He could not drink his mother's milk. They lived on a reservation, and there was no hospital in the area. My dad would have died unless our grandfather bought a goat, a milking goat, and our dad drank from a goat. He drank from a goat as a baby until he wasn't able to drink. He could eat food and stuff, but he drank from a goat. So thank you for saving the goats. Our dad was a goat milk drinker.
Hey, look, Bob, you want to be famous?
Yeah.
This Twitch thing says, want to be famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers on bigfollowers.com. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, right. Great. We could be. Yes, I heard about this through Silly Fan Man. He uses this. That's awesome. Thank you.
Definitely gonna do that.
Never heard of King Philip's War either. Apparently, she's definitely the same person. What's up, Donnie? Hey guys, I'm serious. If you want to hear hear some Bigfoot stories, watch the show yesterday. Go to the 2-hour mark, and his story is not about happy ending.
Good story.
His story scarred him. That's what I like. Now here, my niece has 8 goats. There we go. People that has goats. I love goats. They're so cute. We're becoming a goat channel now. That makes sense. Let me see here. Karen told Brick in the face. Karen told Brick in the face.
Very good.
Okay.
But goats. Yeah, goats are personal.
I don't know what the hell that means, but okay. Hey, Connor, thank you so much, Eric. No problem. Hey, man. And the thing is, Bob, he's not making any money saving goats. He does this out of his own pocket.
That's great, man. You got to save the goats. And I'm serious. If it's personal to us, it's kind of like, we got to support that a little bit because our dad lived off goat milk growing up.
It's like, you can buy your fame now? A day? I guess you could buy your fame now.
A lot of YouTubers buy them. They buy them now. They buy their subs and their views and their likes. I don't know. Fuck. I should be making some money doing this. Pay me and I'll view your shit. It'll be $5.
If I were rich, I rescue donkeys.
Then you need to go to Ethiopia. Ethiopia had a problem with that. We got a lot of donkeys.
Well, let's go back to this guy.
Yes, go back to him.
Trail of both Native Americans and whites, I believe, to stay on land and leave these very upset souls wandering around.
Andrew, on the boundaries of the Bridgewater Triangle.
Well, as we know, Loren Coleman was the person who coined the term the Bridgewater Triangle. He was pretty much looking for a catchy phrase to catch people's
really kind of like Fiona Broom using Mandela effect, using Nelson Mandela. I'm shocked that people would do that to coin. Man, but it's a cool word. It sounds cool.
Eyes and ears. Of course, the Bermuda Triangle at the time was the big popular paranormal mystery. So I think with just tongue in cheek, Lauren snatched that term because he could roughly draw from Abington to Rehoboth to Freetown. But even Lauren Coleman, in discussing this with Christopher Balzano, has agreed that he didn't mean to put any kind of rigid boundaries on this area. He agrees that they probably can be expanded, and we may have a misshapen area, not a rectangle, a triangle, a square, or
well, you know, no
an
offense.
octagon.
No offense. Common sense.
Maybe
It's not
octagon.
like, it's not that bring a triangle not in the ocean is exactly a triangle line. I mean, we all kind of know that, but we all know too, in the real world, if you want to get your information out there, you got to come up with a sexy title. I mean,
That triangle.
You know, it is what it is, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it's not at least they're meaning it where he's using the name because of the other triangle. It's not like Fiona Broom, her and a book writer made up the whole thing about Nelson just to sell books. That's a difference.
Sell books, yeah.
There's a difference there.
circle. But I do believe that this area could be expanded not only in Massachusetts, but down into the Rhode Island area. Of course, Rehoboth, the town we're in right now, when Rehoboth was eventually broken up, it created 15 towns in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. People forget that Woonsocket, Rhode Island, Cumberland, Rhode Island, we're part of Rehoboth.
Sexy title like Gypsy Road, you got it. You got it.
So the King Philip's War took place in what we now know as Cumberland, Rhode Island. It's referred to as the Nine Men's Misery.
Actually, Scott, there's one way I could tell you how my title of the show is not really sexy, because in some countries we learned that the word gypsy is a bad word. In fact, on my Facebook,
it's derogatory.
No, it was Facebook. Gypsy wrote it but to title it, I was not allowed to use the gypsy word. I had to call it Journey into the Unknown, because in some countries, gypsy is a bad word. So I guess what I'm saying is I might be sexy here in the United States and the UK. I might be sexy, but in some other countries, they don't think I'm sexy too much. They think I'm an asshole for.
Yeah, I can just call him Eric. You guys can just call him Eric. The show is called Gypsy Road, but just call him Eric. It's a good name for him. It's a Viking name.
Triangles are sexy. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting to the sexy talk. Triangles are sexy. Really? See, I taught you something. Yeah, the word gypsy is a bad word in some countries. It's kind of weird. Word. So that's why some countries ban Bob and I, because they think we're cussing at them.
Yeah, like no, it's just the name of the show.
It's in retribution for the great swamp fight down in South Kingston, Rhode Island. Got a hold of 10 militiamen. One escaped. The other 9 were taken to a swampy area and staked to the ground and horribly tortured and left in little pieces to be buried in a mass grave. And that gravesite to this day is said to be haunted by the screams of those men being tortured.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, we just kind of talking about that. Tortured, evil. They'll bring bad karma.
Yeah, Jinn will feed off that. The dark energy thingies, the interdimensional reptilians will feed off that shit, and then repeat it over and over again because it makes people scared.
But I'm like you, Bob. King's Philip War. I never really even heard of this.
Never heard of it.
It's right here. There's a here. I'm gonna put this in. I'm gonna put this in the chat.
I've never heard of that.
I'm gonna put this webpage in the chat so people can read about this later. And let's see if I'm not gonna read the fucking whole thing, but let's see if there's anything interesting here.
Yeah, my teachers were dumb. The professors are idiots because they've never talked about any of this. I was like,
let's see here. King Philip's rise. Metacom was the second son of Wampanoag Chief Monsieur, who had negotiated a peace treaty with the colonists at Plymouth Plantation. But the agreement wasn't enough to stop the colonists' encroachment on Indian lands. Well, of course not. Anybody knows white people, we're taking the land. It's ours. You know, I'm sorry. After Morosi's death in 1661, his eldest son, Wamsuta, later named Alexander, succeeded him. In 1662, the English arrested Alexander on suspicion of plotting war. No, people don't plot war. Come on.
But he's a native. He's a native.
Yes, during questioning, he died. And made him now known as Philip, as meaning when opponents took English names came to power. So during questioning, he died, or did they murder him?
Okay. Now, a king, huh? Okay, it must be because I always thought they were I always taught that back on Sagittarius that they were a matrilineal society, so there was no kings. The Algonquin culture didn't have kings. There was no king. It was a matrilineal society. Men went off to hunt and fish and fight, and women ran shit. So there was mostly a name for queen, but there was no kings. Huh. Well, he was the king, though. But I guess that's a derogatory. They're just putting it on him as a derogatory name. Another
There's
king.
a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
The Battle of Bloody Brook on September 9th, close 2 days right before the 20th anniversary this year. And we know some channels are going to have a hard-on talking about September 1/1. That's their bread and butter. They're going to have they're probably going to have a big anniversary show on their channels on September.
Celebrate. They have to celebrate it. Yay!
And nobody cares about it anymore. Nobody gives a shit no more. No offense on what happened, but it's 20 years ago. Nobody gives a shit anymore. New England, a confederation declared war against King Philip and his followers. A week later, around 700 Nipmuc Indians ambushed a military group, escorting a wagon train of colonists. Almost all colonists and military were killed in the fighting, known as the Battle of Bloody Brook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Look, great swamp fight. Now there's a great swamp fight, Bob.
All right.
Hoping to prevent a spring Indian onslaught, Plymouth Colony's governor, Joseph Winslow, gathered the colonial Multica attack of a massive Narragansett set and Wampanoag fortification near the Great Swamp in West Kingston, Rhode Island on December 19, 1675.
Yeah, 1600s, man. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that was
estimated that 300 Indians, including women and children, would either killed in the attack or died from exposure to the winter elements. Some were buried alive at the stake. The battle force weakened has tried to remain neutral. John King Philip fight under the leadership of Chief Connell Chit. Man, there's a lot of shit that goes on in this area, and shit.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Now I know there was some skirmishes and some battles, but nothing extreme. I'm aware of. I mean, a lot of trade went on. A lot of happy trade.
Hold on. Gypsy is a bad word here. I don't give a shit though. Travelers now. I honestly don't think gypsies care how they are named. We were told to call students learners. Students wants to students.
Oh, I think pikers. He's probably talking about the pikers. Yeah, the Irish caravanners.
Next time we do a live on Bridgewater Triangle, let me know because I know quite a bit on the show. Oh yeah, remember Bob? He was on our show with Paranormal. He's from Massachusetts.
Oh, so he knows a lot about this.
Yes, he knows.
Yeah,
he knows.
Yeah.
God, I know. You know what's funny? I don't know if you know this, Paranormal on the World. I actually emailed Vel yesterday and see if you guys got any information on it. So I knew you knew stuff. So I actually emailed her yesterday.
Yeah. Wow.
And I feel bad that I don't think I checked my emails today. But yeah, man, anytime you want to come on, dude, if you're in front of a computer right now, you could jump on.
I don't mind.
I don't know if it's on the computer, but
we're learning about it now. We're all learning together on this one. This is a lot of new stuff. It's coming out again with this. I mean, I know they had I don't know. It sounds like I'm a little bit lost on some of the history now. Every time I wake up, there's a new fucking history of shit. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Well, Bob, I got, not this one. I got another bonus from another guy. I would, but I'm at work. Hey, no problem, dude. No problem. But yeah, we would love to have you come on. Listen, you know what days we do our show, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Any one of those days that you're off, you let us know, and we'll bring back this topic because we never heard of it before.
Yeah, we'll just break into it real quick.
Yeah,
that's great though. So what else is there? There's UFOs we talked about. There's Bigfoot. There's Bigfoot in there. What's this expert guy?
This guy name is Joseph D. Andre. Let's see.
All right.
My name is Richard Fields. I'm disabled, but it's a trade work on the side. I'm a cryptozoologist.
Oh, cryptozoologist.
Cryptozoologist, rather. And I study different animals, including Bigfoot, which is my main primary interest.
Here we go.
Okay.
So how did you get hooked up with Joe?
Well, it happened 9 years ago, or 10 years ago. Is it 10 years ago?
At the most.
It was about 10 years ago. I met Joe. I read about Joe on the computer, and I said, he saw Bigfoot. And I said, I got to meet this guy. I got to meet him.
What if I told you I met
Bigfoot?
Would you
I got
meet
in
me?
touch with Joe, and we talked here and there, and we try to get things together. And eventually I did come down here after a while. I really don't know how long after it was. But I came down to see Joe, and I was fascinated of all the.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to hear a story.
And of course, there are some people that are going to believe Joe and what he says, and other people that might not necessarily believe Joe and what he says. But you're definitely one of the people that you believe Joe and what he saw.
Yeah, it's just too many sightings, basically around the world.
I don't care what Joe saw.
Well, I can see that his disability doesn't hold him back. I'll tell you that. Him and Joe.
They act, and it's not really the way normal people act. They're not friendly, and they just assume have nothing to.
About how it's been having.
Oh, there's Joe. I can see the fascination for Joe.
I'm glad he's on my expedition team.
They make a great team, Eric.
People like him.
Yeah.
It's very hard to find. I had no idea it was going to be so difficult to find good people.
Okay. I mean, no offense. They're not. I thought they're going to be. I thought they're going to be.
I mean, they got a lot going on. I kind of look like you and me. Which one are you? Are you Joe or are you the other one?
Well, I usually try to do the goatee more, so I'll be the goatee guy. So you'll be the other guy with white hat, because your hat right now is extra whiter than my hat because I'm wearing a black hat. So you'll be that guy.
Yeah. Okay. I saw you on the computer, Joe, and I want to come meet you. Look, Bigfoot.
Yeah, I want to hear the stories, like what he found there. I don't care about him finding Joe. I don't even know who Joe is.
The good news is he found Joe, and that's what's important. And he's fighting through his disabilities. He found Joe.
Well, let's see if this guy is a little better. This guy, his name is Lauren Coleman. Let's see if he's a little better.
Okay, I don't know. Those other guys were pretty good, though, Eric.
Well, not better. What I meant is information about where they're at.
Yeah. Hopefully Joe will be in this one.
I moved to Massachusetts and started really mapping out the state.
Do they all shop at the same store? For clothes?
I noticed over and over again that the Bridgewater area. Here's an area where this, even organized government had decided to put a mental hospital, a state penitentiary.
Okay, this is good.
A very strange forest, the Freetown Forest. And all of these were almost as if they were the recent modern outcome of the Hockomock Swamp, the Bridgewater Triangle, being a very sinister, strange location. You don't put a penitentiary or a state hospital for the criminally insane in neighborhoods that aren't already accepting of something a little bit off.
Wonder if that's where that guy came from that found Joe. Probably from one of the institutions.
During the colonial times, there's, of course, many records and diaries and different things of strange phenomena. I kept coming across these notes about a yellow day. And by a yellow day, what they meant is in the Bridgewater Triangle, the whole sky turned yellow. It's almost as if there was pollen all over everything.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. That's what I want to hear.
I want to hear that.
This phenomenon, which we really see a connection to a geographic location. There's different spook lights stories all across the United States.
It's Grandpa from Jurassic
Park. A lot of people
Park.
have heard about the Brown Mountain lights or the Mafra lights. And those get a lot of publicity. And
Is he playing with an invisible ball?
If in the Bridgewater Triangle there were any spook lights. And as it turned out, near the Raynham dog track, which certainly has had a lot of interesting reports associated with it, people were seeing these spook lights. And of course, the debunkers, the skeptics, those people that want to just throw out spook lights will immediately tell you it's just swamp gas. But there's not swamp gas all over the country in all these locations.
True.
And even though you have the Hockomock Swamp close by, there's not a lot of sightings of different kinds of phenomena coming from the swamp.
Paranormal on the World, who's from Massachusetts, wrote, Lauren Coleman is operating the National Cryptozoology Museum in Portland, Maine, which you're pretty big in the museums because you worked at museums. So
yeah,
and you can tell the difference between him and the other two guys. Nothing with Joe.
No, I like Joe.
Yeah, I like Joe. I like Joe.
This guy. I want to go back to Joe.
But this guy, I mean, at least this guy is explaining the yellow in the sky, and so he's a storyteller, you know.
That you would expect routinely. So once in a while to get spook lights in the area really is interesting because it almost seems to be a phenomena that is more based upon the location and not just the swamp, but maybe some kind of electromagnetic plasma ignited.
There we go.
So that seems to be what's happening there.
Nice. Okay, I like that.
Well, we have all constantly heard about energy, power, and energy. I mean, even the triangle, the Bermuda, whatever triangle, where airplane starts to lose, you know, their machine stops working. You know, electricity. Yeah. And we all learn like paranormal works off electricity. You know, I mean, that's why your battery gets drained.
Yeah.
And all that. So
draining vortex.
And if you kind of think about it, now we all know pyramid shapes, but pyramids shapes represents, you know, Bob, you're talking about Egypt and stuff, on how some people believe the pyramids were built were believed to be power generators.
Power generators. Yeah.
So it seems like even though it's not the exact shape of a pyramid, but everybody gets the idea of a pyramid because there's a lot of energy in these areas.
Yeah. A lot of vortex energy in there, a lot of death, a lot of fighting.
Joe is hard to find.
Oh,
they endangered.
Woodland Joe. Is that the guy?
No, this is Lauren. Joe, you know, Joe is
the guy before. Woodland Joe. Right there, that guy.
Yeah.
Idea was going to be
more.
Joe.
I just need to find 2 more good people like Richard who will help me so that I can have a much better team.
I think he said he needs 2 more people.
Like Richard.
Can we get with Joe? Maybe he can select us.
I like Richard. He's a cool guy. I want to hang out with Joe.
I finished before, and maybe God willing, I might be able to get a picture of at least one of these paranormal creatures.
Richard, can you talk a little bit about what it's been like to work with Joe?
I thought they did.
It's been very interesting. You know, you're learning from somebody that's been there and fascinated by the stories that he has to tell of what he experienced.
I like Bob. I'm like you. I like Joe.
I like Joe.
Look at
I'm
him.
gonna go work with Joe.
Look at Joe.
I like Richard. I think Richard's got it going on. I think he's got a lot of shit going on. He's like Rain Man.
I think all four of us together, we'll get some paranormal stuff.
Yeah, Eric, Bob, Richard, and Joe. We'll make a fucking team, man. Where's the Discovery Channel for this one? Fucking,
I know, right?
I want to go shopping at that store and get one of them shirts. And
Eric,
then
Bob, Richard, and Joe on the hunt.
On the hunt.
In the Bridgewater Triangle.
The Bridgewater Triangle. Oh my God. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Oh God, yeah. Fucking me and Richard coming right for us. Boom.
Joe, I think there's Bigfoot. You go in there, Joe. You go in the bushes.
Yeah. Run, Richard. Run. Faster. Panzón, run. Apúrate, cabrón. Panzón, run. Yeah.
Can you imagine the poster of all four of us together? That's a team, baby.
That's a team. We're a team waiting to happen. And the fringes.
Discovery Channel, guys. Discovery Channel. This is a win-win situation for you guys.
Yeah. Joe's looking for some recruits, so I'm thinking he got Richard, which is fucking top notch. You got the two of us. We're ready to go.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to the guy who's actually saying some pretty good, interesting stuff here.
Yeah.
And geographic sites and cryptozoological reports, I was interested in seeing if there was any kind of commonality. So I didn't investigate those UFO reports specifically, but I was interested in them in the context of the area of the Bridgewater Triangle.
See?
Nice.
That is so interesting.
Nice. I actually do want to go there now.
I always like to make, which is that I don't believe any of this. And that shocks people. But I don't like to use the word believe because believe is taking things on faith. There's two groups of people I do not like on investigations with me. The debunkers, which come into the room with a preconceived notion that none of this can happen. None of this is real. The other people that I don't like to be with me on investigations are true believers. They totally come into an investigation believing everything is paranormal, occult, spooky. The Bridgewater Triangle has to be real.
No, I get what he's talking about. I mean, we believe that you should try to debunk, but not to the point where he's
not to the point where it's obnoxious. Yeah,
where they just want to disbelieve everything.
Everything, yeah.
You know, like I said it on my show yesterday.
Yeah,
I don't believe 100% in Bigfoot because I've never seen him up front. But I personally believe he's real.
Yeah,
I can never say he's 100% real because I've never been up to one.
Yeah, no, I see what he's saying. Chaotic neutral. I'm in the middle too. I'm in the I have to. I'm not gonna over debunk. I'm not gonna over fucking get excited. So I'm gonna be like in the neutral. You know, I'm just gonna take notes.
I think what's exciting about going to this place, if Discovery Channel should want to, they should want to send us with Joe and Richard.
Joe and Richard. Yeah.
Richard from hold on. What is this channel called? What is this group called? From the Bistro Country Media. Okay, we're not talking about we're not talking about Richard from Silly Fan Man. That's a phone.
No, that's different. That's a different guy.
We're talking about Richard from that place.
That place.
What's interesting is it's all in one spot, Bob. So it's like, hey, we gotta go Bigfoot hunting. Well, actually, that's in our backyard. We can actually do that anytime we want.
Yeah.
UFO hunting. Let's go to the hot spot, Area 51. Let's go there. The triangle has it all. We hit one spot for everything. So
backpack in there.
We could be like, Bob, today we're really gonna search for Bigfoot, but we might see UFOs.
Might see UFOs. You might see a dog man.
Technically,
you might see a lizard man. You might see a hobbit.
You got to be willing to change your mind. That is absolutely true.
Yeah,
you got to be willing to accept something that you just never thought that existed. You know.
Yeah, This place is filled with cryptology, crypto animals. I mean, it's fucking packed. I can't stop finding them now. A lot of things I didn't believe, I believe now because I saw them now. I saw UFOs. I didn't believe in them damn things. And now I saw them. I see these things. I've been ghost hunting, and now I know they're fucking real. I'm like, oh, wow. Holy shit.
Help save the world by finding Bigfoot.
Yes, we can save the world by finding Bigfoot.
UFOs and Bigfoots go hand in hand. No pun intended. And Juan Torres, if we're in the triangle, we might be able to get away with the alien hamster.
Yeah. That'd be great. I'm going to go hook up with Joe and Richard immediately after the show, what to find them. Hire us. I don't know if he has any money, though. He don't look like he's well endowed with money there. What's this?
No, I mean, we have actually what he's actually talked about when Torres talked about UFOs and Bigfoot, you know, they do go hand in hand. You know, there is that belief. There's a few documentaries out there that talks about every time they seems like there's a hot spot of a Bigfoot. If you look in the paper, there's a hot spot about a UFO in that area. You know? So I mean, listen, if you're gonna be into one of these, then you should be open-minded to all three.
All three.
I mean, who? Okay, I'm going to believe in UFOs, but I won't believe in the paranormal. I'll believe in the paranormal, but I won't believe in the Bigfoot. I mean, you should have an open mind to it all. And not just Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster. I forgot the sea creature that was its name near New Zealand. They have one that we did a show on. I can't remember.
That would be Connor for the names. Connor knows all the names. I don't know the names. Connor knows all the. We need him for like the bookkeeping. He knows all the names. He'll have every name available for each monster we come across, each cryptid.
Yeah. And you never know what's going to happen because like when Sandy Goats Rescue was talking about yesterday, where he was doing a job on they capture a lot of these pigs because you know the farmers land. And he was doing his job when he ran into the beast that he hasn't seen. That's what they do. Sometimes you don't even need to go hunting. You know, it'll find you. Like Bob,
I imagine the Bigfoot's probably eat pigs.
You went to Fresno, California. Anybody knows Fresno? It's just a flat piece of land in the middle of California. You didn't go to Fresno, California, expecting to see flying objects you don't recognize, but you did.
And having F-18s fly around, following them.
According to Paranormal Underworld, Nicole was attacked in the triangle.
No shit.
She was on our show. Anybody knows she's on our show? She's a great person. Wow.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty dark in that area.
Let me ask you. Like when you say she was attacked, are you talking about like being attacked paranormal wise, like
paranormal
of a possession way, or are you talking about Bigfoot thing? Well, how? I know it's hard to explain in writing, but how was she kind of attacked? I'm curious now.
Well, I'm wondering if there's tunnels. You know, it depends on the substrate. If it's limestone, there's going to be a lot of tunnels.
Connor is more of a Bigfoot hunter enthusiast than good old Joe and Tubby.
Yeah, you mean Richard, damn it.
Richard, damn it, Richard.
His name is Richard. And he's got a little bit of a cognitive problem, but he seems like a good old guy. I'm going to go find Richard and Joe and go hang out with. I'm going to go to that store where they buy the shirts, though, first.
I know. Well, there's a minute left of this guy.
I approach every investigation, looking at whether or not there's evidence for this to exist. I accept or deny the evidence. For me, I would not be interested in the Bridgewater Triangle if I did not accept that there seems to be credible evidence for a focused area of phenomena.
Very good. Yeah, no, I believe him. I guess he's the curator at a museum. So, yeah. I want to go there. I'd like to see the cryptids up in the triangle. I'd like to go there. Get some evidence, pictures.
I don't know if this one. Oh, here we go. Native American spirit pulled from her behind, almost to the ground. Oh, wow.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Native American spirit. I know this might be a weird question. How do you know it was Native American? Did it like make a sound like you heard like a Native American war cry in a way? I'm just curious. I'm very, dude. Just pick a day. You got to come on our show. We got to talk about this live on the air.
It could be one of them the earth spirits. As I was in East Timor, Indonesia, and they had put these upside down trees in the ground called tays that keep the animal spirits in the ground, because if they didn't feed it, they didn't put rice down for it every day, these animal spirits would be fucking all over the place, knocking shit over, having a rough time. Could be an animal spirit too.
You know Nicole, she sees and hears them. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. You got it. Yes, that's right. I forget about that part.
Yeah, she shines.
Now, guys, this video here, I don't know if this is any good. It's only 4 minutes. I'm just curious if this has got any information.
Let's see.
Triangle refers to an area of about 200 square miles within southeastern Massachusetts in the United States, claimed to be a site of alleged paranormal phenomena, ranging from UFOs to poltergeists and orbs, balls of fire and other spectral phenomena, various Bigfoot sightings, giant snakes and thunderbirds, as well as the mutilation of
That sounds like an Alexa.
Yeah, it does, but she's fascinating.
I got an Alexa, but I have mine talk in British. Let me see if I get the same thing in British. Oh,
Hey, Bridgewater Triangle.
Alexa, stop. Okay. Alexa, tell me about Bridgewater Triangle.
According to Wikipedia, the Bridgewater Triangle is an area of about 200 square miles within southeastern Massachusetts in the United States, claimed to be a site of alleged paranormal phenomena, ranging from UFOs to poltergeists, orbs, balls of fire and other spectral phenomena, various Bigfoot-like sightings, giant snakes and thunderbirds.
Alexa, do you know Robert Wood?
According to Wikipedia, Robert Williams Wood was an American physicist and inventor who made pivotal contributions to the field of optics. He pioneered infrared and ultraviolet photography. Wood's patents and theoretical work inform modern.
I didn't say Wood. Alexa, who is Robert Wood?
According to Wikipedia, Robert Williams Wood was an American physicist and inventor who made contributions.
It won't tell you.
Alexa, why is the word gypsy a bad word?
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Oh, doesn't know that one, Bob.
I don't know. Also don't know me.
Doesn't know you. Well. Yeah. Alexa, what's the weather today in Manchester, UK?
Currently, in Manchester, United Kingdom, it's 59 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. Tonight, you can expect clouds with a low of 55 degrees.
If anybody in the chat, you want a weather report in your city, you just donate it. You just donate $5 and we'll tell you the weather. We'll be the weather people. Wow.
Pretty good. Yeah, it doesn't know me. It will not give you my information because my whole record's been wiped clean.
Alexa is slipping up.
Yeah. Part of the Pentagon Secret Army program. There's nothing left.
No, this thing could tell you dirty jokes. Watch. Alexa, tell me a dirty joke.
What do you call a skid mark that won't come out? Undeterred. By the way, I have a routine you might like. I can help you keep a study or work session on track by playing focus music.
Alexa, stop.
You want?
Undeterred. Okay. Nice.
That's pretty good, actually.
Nice, Alexa.
That's actually not bad. Usually I get worse ones.
I'm bad for an AI. Well, at least you told us about, the Thunderbirds. Those are interesting in a lot of indigenous cultures' stories. Big, huge birds.
Now, what are they called?
They're called
Thunderbirds?
Thunderbirds.
Well, hold on. Alexa, what is a thunderbird?
Thunderbird is a noun meaning in the mythology of some North American Indians, a huge, eagle-like bird capable of producing thunder, lightning, and rain.
Wow. Or we would call them a UFO. But yeah, they're able to pick up livestock, fly long distances. I think there was even a picture on the web of these guys holding what looks like a pterodactyl, in the 1800s, like a pterodactyl. Again, Connor is right about. So I think these caverns down below might be caging lots of animals and lots of large, as he calls titans down there, which are these thunderbirds that come up, and probably the Sasquatches that come up, and all these cryptids that come from underground. Take a look around and go back down under the ground.
Well, I got another one. The same group that does those people. This one's called the Killer Dog.
The Killer Dog.
Yeah, let's see. Who's the Killer Dog? The Killer Dog.
Is his name Cujo?
Ravenous, bloodthirsty dogs are said to roam the woods of both the Hockomock Swamp and its surrounding communities. In 1976, Abington resident Philip Kane watched in horror when a large black and gray dog ripped open the throats of his two ponies, both of which were killed in the attack.
So here you have this thing that's as large as a pony, and he sees it standing over the ponies, ripping their throats out.
Wow.
Kane reportedly fired a pistol at the dog as it fled the scene. The shot missed its mark, and the dog disappeared into the forest.
To see it walk away and disappear just kind of compounded his fear. For 3 days, there was concerted safari-like hunts in that area to try to find this giant dog, and nobody ever could.
Wow. One of Wendy's claims that the entire Abington Killer Dog story was embellished and entirely misreported.
I was sleeping, and I was woken by the barking of a dog, and after a while I realized it was my dog. When I come out, my dog was about here barking like hell. And the horse had a rope around his neck that came from a slope or a hill up there. And he was lying right about here. And it was rather obvious what happened to me. Anyway, it was obvious to me.
It was a dog.
Mark believes that the horse pony accidentally fell down embankment of the tragedy itself with the rope tied around his neck. He does not recall a second horse pony being involved in the incident.
I think the police come up, took a look at it, and said, "Hey, Mac, where did the dead horse come from?" And I looked at him. I said, "How the hell do I know?" I said, "All I know is it's got a rope around its neck, and it looks to me like it fell down the hill because, well, I knew it did, because it belonged to the Canes up there." But when it got into the papers, and people heard of a dog, barking at a dead horse, they just, added to it, and then it became, I don't know what you call stories when they get out of
urban legend.
Urban legend.
Urban legend.
Suburban.
It was Dogman,
people
pet
out with
hound from
shotguns,
hell.
And lo and behold, I didn't know whether to laugh at this or get mad.
Dogman.
I see 3 figures going on the other side of the stone wall with the shotguns up in front. Got the picture? Idiots, and I said to myself, "Can I swear in this?"
Oh, absolutely.
I said, "Jesus Christ, what are they doing up there with those shotguns?" I got the kids and got them in the house, and I called the police up. I had to. Here they are.
It's probably that from that show that for the guilty pleasure that I watched. What is it? The Monster Hunters or something?
Yeah, Monster Hunters.
Because I'm always making a joke like, can you imagine seeing a bunch of those hillbillies in your backyards with guns? Okay, come on, chase it. Go down there.
We're just looking for the infamous dog man. Don't worry about us. We're just looking for it's a man with a dog's head down the mountain. Yeah, looking for that creature. Yeah, that guy. Kids, get in the cabin, man. There's some crazy fuckers out here looking for a dog, man.
And guys, those videos, I'll give them a little credit because I played some of theirs. Just I'll put it in the chat. There's the link to the they call Bistro County Media, and that's where a lot of the triangles. Actually, they have over hundreds and hundreds in videos. But
cool.
But in that county.
We hope we gave the triangle a little bit of justice. We just played around a little bit with this one, guys. I've just never heard of it. We're having a good time with it. Didn't know about the King Philip War or King what war? Philip or whatever. I don't know.
War.
Yeah, Philip. That's weird, right? Anyway,
apparently it was the first big Native American, Indian war.
Yeah, a big bloody war that I've never. King Philip, really? Philip? Is this a comic book? Because didn't Philip just die in England? King Philip. Anyway, I don't know. It's just Duke Philip. I don't fucking know.
Well, who the hell? Here's another bonus material, but it's only a minute. So what does this guy? What does this guy say in a minute that's important? Well, let's see.
Can't be Joe or
in a minute
Richard.
and 31 seconds. Oh, is it a blooper? Is that what it says?
Oh, bloopers. That's a blooper.
All right, we got a blooper. Guys, laugh time.
I mean, because, you know,
Hey, Joe!
Yeah, what's that? Has he got a throat problem or something?
Whoa. Goose.
Profile rock definitely looks like the profile of a dude. And if you get up close to it, they've actually installed braces to hold it together because God forbid it should break. Think about the old man in the mountain in New Hampshire, right? They were screwed. That quarter's useless now.
I say no problem.
I like Joe.
All right, hitchhiker's in.
Wait.
You looking in the other direction.
Are they pushing the car?
That's going in the bloopers.
Dighton Rock is, I love
We
Dighton
want
Rock
Joe.
because
I'm trying to see. Is he more
again,
Joe?
love our fucking rocks. Maybe it was just graffiti. Maybe it was just, you know, Doug
Oh
loves
man,
Tim
I thought we were
I like Joe. More Richard and more Joe. They seem to be the most professional out of the entire group. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah, that's sad. Oh, hold on. That's oh, is this Joe right here? Hold on, Bubba. Hold on.
More Joe.
Hold on.
Get Joe on there.
I think I found a video of Joe.
Okay, good.
Joe Schmo. Here, I think we got one of Joe.
Good.
Let's see here.
He's the most professional one out of all of them. I take him seriously.
So, Joe talks about subsequent experience he and two expedition team members had at the Clay Banks Pond in Bridgewater, which occurred after his initial reporting sightings of Bigfoot.
Or Richard. You probably saw Richard, but that's okay.
Wow, there was no snow in the ground at this time, okay? I think it was spring or summer. And we were just hanging around there, getting a little campfire going. And they both went to get some wood. And I felt guilty because it was getting dark and I didn't, I just had my machete with me. And I said, I got to help out. I start walking in the woods. And then all of a sudden, as I start walking in little by little, I start picking up these branches. Suddenly, I would say about, as I get in 30 feet, all of a sudden, I heard a sound I will never forget. I don't scare easily.
Oh.
But I have to admit,
You don't
I
scare
was
Joe
very
that
scared
easy.
when I heard that sound.
Wow.
It sounded like it was only about, I would say, maybe 30 to 40 feet away from me at the most.
Probably Richard?
Was like nothing I ever heard before. It was like out of a horror movie. Something
Richard probably got a splitter.
Probably Richard.
I'll try to explain it right now. I just, I hope I don't sound silly doing this. It was like,
That's Richard.
more fiercer.
I like that,
It
Joe.
was
I
angry.
like
It
it.
didn't want me there. And whatever it wasn't too far away. And I
Hold
picked
on a
up the
second.
last piece
Hold on.
of wood.
I
put it in my
I gotta pause for a second.
Yeah.
The question, the answer: are you both going to pick a card or not? You'll be impressed.
Oh.
Okay.
Pick a
How do I
card.
pick a card? Do I say grab the right card, grab the left card? So how do Bob and I pick a card? And I want to be impressed. Bob, you want to be impressed?
I pick card number 5.
Okay. I'll pick card number 6.
One
Is that
after
good?
one.
Is that all you needed from us? I'll do a 6. Bob will do a 5. And Joe, give Joe a 2.
Joe wants a 2. He's
Joe wants a 2.
probably heard Richard in there. You don't know. He went
Yeah.
looking for him. He said after he saw his video
Yeah.
on the computer.
Is that what you needed from us? I want to be impressed. What's our reading?
Yeah.
Bob's a 5. I'm a 6.
Wait, is this a tarot card? Are we doing tarot cards?
Is it tarot cards?
Terracotta?
Terracotta? Oh, pick a playing card from 52. Well, Bob said 5, and I said 6.
Yeah.
Hey, look, mom, chocolate and cheese. That's good. I didn't mean to do that. 5 plus 6 plus 2 equals 13.
There we go. That was pure organic.
That's good.
That
That
was
is so good. I didn't even meant for that to happen. Wow. Chocolate and cheese, you're on your game. So Bob's a 5, I'm a 6, and Joe's a 2. So what's our reading?
13.
No. If you're gonna tell me that I'm gonna die tomorrow, that's not cool.
It's organic, but that's funny.
Boom. Okay.
Yeah, it's like you can't get away from the 13s, even by accident. We're not planning. Always follows around certain numbers. So anyway,
I didn't even meant for that. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep playing this video, but I want to be impressed. Oh, Aline Keeves wants 37.
Ooh,
Mike
37.
Diamonds. Oh, I'm all about heart. So I'm 6 of hearts, and I'll pick one for Bob. Bob be 5 of spades. So Bob's 5 of spades. I'm 6 of heart, and Joe is 2 of what? 2.
2 of 2. 2 of spades.
2 of spades. So Bob's a spade, Joe's a spade, and I'm 6 of hearts. And Eileen, Eileen K is king of spades, so she's 37 spades. I'm sorry. Bob has to pick his own. Oh, Bob, pick your own.
Well, I'm a king, so mine's going to be a king of diamonds.
Bob picks queen of hearts.
King of diamonds.
Well, I'm 6 of hearts. So what's mine? What's I need to be impressed.
I grabbed my machete as well. It was better than nothing, and I backed away at it. And then all of a sudden I hear Mike say, "What the hell was that?" I go, "I don't know," but I said it doesn't sound good. I said, I think we better leave here quickly.
Ooh, that's
So
a hell of a story.
that he and his expedition team members experience.
I remember that me and this psychic woman who didn't want to go in there because, she had told my fortune.
Was it Nicole?
For at least an hour, Somebody had fixed me up with her. I told them I like women bodybuilders, but they fixed me up with her just the same. And
he likes bodybuilders for women, Bob.
I think he's mastered the art of the soft hand. I'm just throwing a little bit at you. It looks like he knows the soft hand.
Man, Joe
You know
knows
what I mean?
what he likes. Joe looks like a poker player, doesn't he? Doesn't he?
Maybe Joe and old Richard might be something else. I don't want to say.
Bob. Richard
What?
does not look. No offense to Richard, he does not look like a lifter, a bodybuilder.
That's true. Maybe he likes some big though. I don't know. Him and Richard get along great.
We got along really good, but she didn't want to go in the swamps because she said it was too dangerous. And half of what she said turned out to be true. She said that I would start this thing and start the team, end it, and all of a sudden start it again. And she said that I would be in some kind of danger, but that I would get out of it, and that I would not give up. That I would be very persistent and determined to solve the mystery.
Perfect.
Which I was. And so I said, please, look, come with us just once. I says, can you do that? And she's making up these excuses and everything. I said, okay, look.
Women.
Oh, fine. But eventually she went. Now, I had to say all this because she was determined not to go. But eventually she finally did. And what happened was, thank God she went. Because when we got there by canoe, her and Mike, Mike's canoe, We were only there an hour.
Richard?
More happened in that 1 hour than you'd ever imagine.
Whoa!
Something was there, my friend.
What happened in an hour?
It was small. We were talking, sitting around the campfire, and suddenly, as Mike was preparing the beans, she said she sensed something in the woods behind us. Okay? And she says, whatever it is, I sense it is lonely and it wants to mate. I says, yeah.
Richard.
We sat there and
That's when Richard found him. He saw him on the computer.
Something is there. And she was right. Something was there. Because all of a sudden, we all heard something drop from a tree.
Yeah, Richard.
It ran like the sound of a child running. A child like maybe 10 or 11 years old.
Oh.
Imagine that. Now, we weren't deep in the middle of the swamps, but yet there was no way to get into those swamps unless you had some kind of a boat or
Not the
canoe.
beans.
Okay. And this thing, the footsteps were heading for the path that leads deep into the swamps.
We want some beans.
After that, we were looked at each
he
other.
probably
You
stole
hear
the
that?
can
Yeah,
of
we
beans
heard
and
that.
start
What the
running.
heck? And she was getting scared already. She was very nervous. She wanted to get the hell out of there. I says, okay, look, you people. I'm going to speak in different languages just for the heck of it. I spoke in Portuguese.
Now, this is how you know he's strong, because he says, you people.
You people.
People. He's telling everyone, hey, listen, you people. Like he's, that's Joe. That's
Joe's got authority.
We need to go camping with this guy.
I'm gonna go camping with him. Get some beans.
Italian.
And Richard.
And German. And English. Just for the heck of it to see if I understood the language. All right. So as I went to go check on the canoe, suddenly I heard a scream.
Guys,
and then a
we
shot.
are getting close to the end. I'll post this Joe video if you guys want to.
That was damn good information.
If you guys want to check out the whole Joe video, which Joe is very interactive. I mean, he's like
very interactive,
and we all know he likes his women. He likes his women
bodybuilders
and
Richard. Thanks, Richard.
And Richard, they're looking for two people. So Discovery Channel, I know you're watching. We're willing. Bob and I are willing to sacrifice ourselves to be with Joe and Richard, and to go in the triangle and discover what's out there.
I don't know if I want to hang out with Joe now. I'm a little bit weary of him.
Well, this is what we'll do. We'll stop by.
Yeah.
Our friend Paranormal Underworld, since he's from Massachusetts, and Nicole. So we'll have our own medium. We have our own person who knows the area. And then if Joe turns out to be a freak, you and I,
Richard,
we'll go our own. We got our own people.
We'll bring Joe and Richard with us.
We'll have a battle. Our people versus their people.
Yeah. That would work.
Take them. I think you can take them.
I think we can take them. I think we could find the Bigfoot before they will. There was something in a tree that when you're eating beans, it jumps down, and we can speak Portuguese to it and French and all different languages.
But overall, I hope that, joking aside, people, hopefully, like myself, I have never heard of the Bridgewater Triangle. I thought it was interesting.
It's interesting.
For a lot of you, now you guys all know that don't listen to some of these channels. Don't do your research. But now you can I'm going to research Bridgewater Triangle, because there's actually some documentaries. There's actually a good Bridgewater Triangle documentary on Amazon Prime. And I was watching a lot of the documentary, and they were talking about the Bigfoot, UFOs, and all that. And they were talking about all of it. So that was kind of cool that it's actually a documentary that talked about all three. And there was no one camp, two camps. It was all talking about how it's all interactive in this one area.
Yeah, and Matt from Quantum of Conscious, it's 3x plus 1. I want you to do that, and you'll find out what I'm telling you. 3x plus 1. If you guys know your mathematics and stuff like that. Interesting.
If you are into bodybuilding, you are a female. Move to Massachusetts where you can get a Bigfoot.
You can get a Bigfoot. Joe would prefer you over the other females that show up that are not bodybuilders. Well, that unless you're like a Richard. He'll take Richard too. I don't know what he's into. Maybe he kind of flips things around a little bit. But anyway, great show. I think we had a good time. I think everyone learned a lot today, Eric. They learned a lot.
I learned a lot. I didn't know about this stuff, so it was kind of cool.
Learned a lot of things. I'll be doing a show tomorrow. I will be doing a show tomorrow. So people have been sending me emails like, when the hell are you coming back on? I said, well, I've been taking a little break. I've been doing some other studying and running around and stuff. But I will be back in Homestead tomorrow and making a show. So Robert Wood channel tomorrow, everybody.
There you guys go.
There.
And then I don't know if I'm going to do one tonight. I'm going to the movies tonight. I mean, it's not a horror movie. We're seeing that stupid. I don't know if it's stupid. Something cruise, the Disney, something cruise about a cruise with it has The Rock and Jungle Cruise.
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, Dwayne Johnson and the girl from Quiet Place.
I can't watch it.
I know.
I just can't do it. It's like these guys. Anyway,
well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sacrificing for this weekend because next weekend I'm gonna go watch the new Suicide Squad.
There you go.
Which I've heard, what I've been hearing is fucking awesome.
Cool.
So beyond that, guys, we'll see you next time. Journey into the unknown.